You know that feeling, that little jolt of panic when someone puts you on the spot and asks you to speak off the cuff? Yeah, we've all been there. But what if I told you there's a way to handle those moments, not by being perfect, but by being confident? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down a really powerful method that helps you do exactly that.
All right, to get started, let's do a quick little test. Take a look at the sentence on your screen. I want you to read it and just count how many times you see the letter F. Go ahead, I'll give you a second.
Okay, time's up, so what did you get? If you found 3, you're not alone. That's what most people see. Maybe you got 4, or even 5. The actual answer is 6. Now, if you didn't get 6, don't worry, you're in really good company. See, most of us miss a few because our brains are wired to take shortcuts. They just breeze right past small words like of. And this is a perfect analogy for what trips us up when we try to speak spontaneously. It's our brain's automatic wiring getting in the way, and it's not always helping us out.
So yeah, that little F-test shows just how easily our own brains can trick us. And that exact same thing, that mental shortcutting, is what happens when we're put on the spot. It triggers this deep-seated anxiety that, let's be honest, most of us know all too well.
I mean, look at the numbers. A staggering 85% of people say they get nervous about public speaking. It kind of makes you wonder about that other 15%, right? Maybe they're lying. But the real point is, if you feel this way, you're absolutely, completely normal.
And this really puts it all into perspective. I mean, check this out. A study from Chapman University found that people's fear of public speaking is ranked right up there with things like terrorist attacks and identity theft. That's huge. So the very first thing we have to do is just accept that we're not alone in feeling this way, not by a long shot.
Okay, so if it's so common, what do we actually do about it? Well, here's the twist. The goal isn't to get rid of the anxiety. Believe it or not, that nervous energy can actually give you focus. The real key is to manage it.
So let's talk about 3 really solid, research-backed techniques to get that anxiety under control. First up, you just greet it. Seriously. When you feel your hands start to shake or your heart starts racing, instead of fighting it, just say to yourself, there it is. This is me feeling anxious. Just acknowledging it like that can stop it from spinning out of control. Okay, second, you got to reframe the whole situation. Stop thinking of it as a performance where you can get things right or wrong. Instead, think of it as a conversation. That one little word change instantly lowers the stakes. And finally, number 3, be present. See, anxiety is all about worrying about the future, what might happen. So you have to pull yourself back to the here and now. Do something simple to ground yourself. Take a quick walk, listen to a favorite song, whatever it takes to get you focused on right now.
All right, so once we've got a handle on our internal state, it's time to tackle the external part. What do you actually say? This is where a super simple 4-step framework is going to become your new best friend for thinking on your feet.
It's basically a mix of 4 key mindsets and actions. Let's walk through them one by one.
So step 1 is all about getting out of your own way. Because, let's face it, the biggest hurdle is usually us. We put all this pressure on ourselves to be brilliant, to be perfect. The solution comes from improv comedy, and I love this. Dare to be dull. It sounds weird, right? But when you give yourself permission to just be okay instead of amazing, you free up all this mental energy to actually be clear and effective.
Okay, step 2 is a huge mindset shift. Instead of seeing an unexpected question as a threat, like you're being attacked, you need to see it as an opportunity. This is that famous yes and principle from improv. Now, it doesn't mean you have to agree with whatever's being said. It's about adopting a mindset of, yes, I hear you, and here's my contribution. You're there to build and engage, not to put up your defenses. This brings us to step 3, which is probably the most counterintuitive advice you'll hear. The instinct is to jump in and start talking right away, but you need to do the opposite. You need to pause. Before you even think about your answer, you have to really listen and understand what's being asked of you. The most powerful thing you can do is just take a beat and absorb what the other person actually needs.
And that brings us to the final and maybe most important step. This is your secret weapon for organizing your thoughts instantly, and that secret weapon is structure.
So why is structure such a game changer? Simple. Our brains are absolutely wired for it. There's even research showing we can process structured information something like 40% more effectively. Think about that. It means a clear structure makes your message way easier for your audience to understand, and this is the critical part. It makes it so much easier for you to deliver it.
And you don't need anything complicated. Here are 2 super simple but incredibly powerful structures you can start using today. The first one is problem solution benefit. That's perfect when you're trying to persuade someone. The second one is what, so what, now what. This one is fantastic for answering questions or giving a quick update. You just say what the thing is, so what, why it matters, and now what the next steps are. Easy.
So why does this work so well? Well, it's all about something called cognitive load. Basically, how many things your brain has to juggle at once. When you're speaking on the spot, you're trying to figure out what to say and how to say it all at the same time. That's a lot. Having a pre-made structure takes care of the how, which frees up all your mental energy to focus on the most important part, your message.
Okay, so let's pull all these pieces together. When you look at this whole approach, what's the really big, surprising idea we should walk away with?
Well, here's the toolkit we've built. We started inside by learning how to manage our anxiety. Then we worked on our mindset, learning to see these moments as opportunities. And finally, we added a practical external tool to guide us, structure.
And this leads to the most surprising, kind of counterintuitive idea of all. We usually think of structure and rules as things that hold us back, that confine us. But when it comes to speaking on the spot, it's the total opposite. A simple framework doesn't box you in. It actually sets you free. It gives you the confidence to just be yourself in that moment.
So I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. What if we just change the goal completely? What if the next time you're put on the spot, your goal isn't to be brilliant or perfect? What if your only goal was to be understood, just to make a connection? How much would that change things for you?